Hello, everybody, and it's your girl T from TNT Connect, the first T. There's two T's, but the other T's not here. It's just me, T, today. And today we are continuing the goal setting series, and we're going to be talking about making your goals smart. Hey, so what are SMART goals, you say? So, SMART goals, SMART is actually an acronym and is basically the steps that are required in order for you to set up your goals to make sure that they're attainable and reachable. And with these specific steps, it's guaranteed that you will be able to stay on track with your goals. So let's go ahead and see, what does SMART mean? So, setting your SMART goals, SMART. Okay. SMART, the S stands for specific. What do you want to accomplish? Who's going to do it? Meaning, be very specific. A lot of times, individuals may just put something in the air and say, hey, I'm going to do this, but they don't really think about specifically what is it you want to accomplish and who's actually going to do it. Sometimes your goals don't always include just you. It may include others. It may include your network. It may include your friends, your family, your children, your siblings. It may include others. No one accomplishes anything by themselves. There's always a contribution made from someone else, whether you requested it or whether they contributed to it or whether they was able to take something off your plate so it will alleviate any type of other task that you had and free you up in order to attain those goals. So please remember, be specific in what you want to accomplish. Who's going to do it? Okay. Second thing, the M, measurable. How will you measure that progress? Is it going to be something, is it a report? Is it a report you're going to make? Is it just an outcome? Is it a number? Is it a place? Is it a feeling? How are you going to measure your progress? How are you going to know that you're on track and you are improving or getting closer to your goal? And whatever those measurable targets are, is very important to also be specific and write those down as well. That way, whenever you get distracted, some people see that shiny object squirrel, then they know how to, your measurable goals will reel you back into reality and get you back on track. Achievable. That's what the A stands for. They must be achievable. Set realistic goals. Okay. Set something that you know is attainable. It does not mean that you're not supposed to stretch yourself and do something that maybe you haven't done before. It just means that even if you're trying to do something that you haven't done before and it may challenge you, then what you do is you break them up into smaller goals so you can reach that bigger goal. Okay. But at the end of the day, you don't want to set yourself up for failure or disappointment. So, therefore, you set yourself some realistic goals, things that are truly attainable based on your schedule, based on your energy level. And we'll get into that shortly. And the effort that it takes in order for you to reach those next level goals. Okay. The R stands for relevant. It must align with your objective. Okay. If you're talking about, hey, you're trying to lose weight, and I'm just going to say is just one of the goals I've noticed a lot of people set most of the time, especially with it being a new year. You want to align with your objective. Well, if you're trying to lose weight, well, you can't turn around and say, well, I'm going to join this you know this wine club where you're going to go to tastings 3 or 4 days a week. Well, those are calories. So that does not align with your objective of losing weight, right? Well, you could drink vodka and gin, those pure spirits that has less sugar, but overall, you're trying to improve your health. So therefore, you try to make sure that Whatever you're setting, you're aligning it with your objective. That means everything that you do every day should align with helping you reach your goals. Okay. It must be relevant to what the end goal is. Okay. And time bound. You need to set a target date for completion. You know, yes, it may be a long term goal, and you may say, well, hey, I have a goal, but I won't be able to reach it for 30 years. Okay, let's say you want to pay your mortgage off, you know, and you want to pay it off in 15 years versus your 30 years. Well, you need to one, make sure that you budget, make sure that you can actually be realistic about how much more money can you put towards your principal, okay, in order to pay down that home to reach your goal in the next 15 years. You might want to set a goal, let's just say for that first year and say, hey, this is how much we can put aside or I can put aside. So therefore, this is how much more I can put to my principal. You divide that up to your 12 months and you can say, okay, at the end of this year, this is how much I want to be able to say I put towards the principal. I want to get my mortgage total down to my mortgage balance down to this amount at the end of this year. Well, then that's a short-term goal. And it's something that is attainable and it's something that is time bound. You're setting yourself a time frame. And you know why you want to set it as a time to be time bound? You want to set a target date for each of your steps or goals that's going to help you reach that overall goal because you want to hold yourself accountable. If you don't set a date, you'll continue to put things off and put it off and put it off. Next thing you know, 5 or 8 years went by and you haven't put up anything towards your principal that you were trying. So instead of paying your mortgage off in 15 years, now you're looking closer to 20. Okay. So you want to make sure that you set, a time. So let me give you an example of what this would be. Let's use, matter of fact, I'll use my other channel. So I have a spirit channel, Adventures of Spirits, and I also work full time. It is a demanding job. It is a corporate executive job. But I am also married and I also have a child who, although goes to college, she still lives in the home. So I still have to be wife. I still have to be mom. I still have to be friend, right? I also have friends that I actually like, right? And you need to make sure that you spend time with those individuals. But then I also need time for myself, right? But then at the same time, there's some things that I'm trying to do, and my channels is part of that. That's something that I do. It's fun, it's a hobby, and it's something that is preparing me for when I retire, what my overall goal and plan is, right? So, my thing is, let's use that as an example. Okay. I have live, there's a live every week on a Tuesday. There's a video every week on a Wednesday. Once or twice a month on a Saturday, there's a member live. So there's two of them within a month. And then with the new year, there's other segments that are coming, but what I did was just incorporated it into time frames that are already occurring so it doesn't add to anything. But then I also have my members where they want their special content that is only designated for them. So most people will say, well, how do you get all of that done? Well, the whole thing is to really sit back and think about what is your goal? What is your purpose? What is it that you're trying to accomplish? And can you accomplish it? And if you can accomplish it, how much of it can you accomplish? And in what time frame? And what is realistic? How much energy do you have? Okay. Let's talk about energy. A lot of people say this is what they want to do, but they really don't take into consideration how much effort it's going to take to do it. And because they don't, they burn out fast, they lose interest fast, they get tired, or they end up dropping the ball in other areas. They spend more time on the computer versus with their family, or they spend time with their family and then never get to do what they need to do on the computer, or they're supposed to be, out networking to reach another goal, but they can't find time to do that because then they're working, right? So you have to look at how much effort is going to take in order to reach your goals. Okay. So if my goal is to make sure that um, my channel, my viewers get the content that they need when they need it, then what I had to do was find out how can I fit what I have to do with these videos or these lives around everything else that is really more top priority, right? And so with that, I had to evaluate, when do I have free time? That's one. And when I do have my free time, what do I need to do in that free time? Because in your free time, you need your time, meaning relax, do nothing, or you need that free time to be thinking, right? Or be creative, or you use that free time for what it is that you need to do in terms of your videos. And so with me, I know that what I want to accomplish is making sure that I do a live every week. I make sure every month I have a total of however many Wednesdays there are in that month, that there is a video ready for each of those days. That I make sure that my thumbnails and everything need to be scheduled so people know when it's coming up, because I want people there, right? Because guess what? They have lives, they have schedules. And if people know that you're going to be on the screen or a video is coming up, they can either tag it to say, hey, I'm gonna watch this later because I know this came up, or hey, I'm gonna make some time and watch these specific ones because these are the ones I'm interested in, right? So therefore, I know that I need to find time to do that. Well, guess what? My other channel involves sipping and tasting and reviewing, which means you can't do it during the week, right? I can do it once a week, but like lightly sip, but you're not going to be drinking during the week when you have to get up for a job in the morning. So these are things that will have to take place on the weekend. But then it's also not good for your body if you're drinking like that every weekend, right? So what I had to realize to do was, okay, what do I want to accomplish? I need to record 4 videos a month. I'm just going to give you all that as an example. 4 videos a month I need to record, but I can only do it on the weekend. And I also need to make time for my family and my friends. Okay. So guess what? My amount of effort is going to be a little more once. So then that it frees me up all the rest of the weekends. So how am I measuring it? I'm measuring it based on, am I actually completing those actual thumbnails and those videos to go behind those thumbnails? That is how I'm measuring it. I'm measuring it based on how many I have scheduled by the ending of the previous month for the next month. That's my measuring goal. Okay. Is it achievable? That is the purpose of me doing batch recordings instead. I do batch recordings because I only need to dedicate one day a month to do everything I need to do with my channel. And then I don't have to worry about it for the rest of the month. I don't have to worry about it for another 3 weeks, so it's much more attainable that way. Those are my realistic goals. Okay. And then is it relevant? Yes, it is. It's giving the people what they are asking for, and it's accomplishing what it is that I am wanting to do with that specific channel. Okay. And my target date, I already know. Hey, for example, February is coming up. February comes up in the next 2.5 weeks. Well, guess what? I need to make sure that my February videos are complete by the last week of this month. So, guess what? I have all the rest of this month for a Saturday to designate to take care of those videos for February. And then the cycle will repeat again in February for March. So it doesn't matter which weekend during the previous month I do it. I just know that I need at least one Saturday or Friday night or Sunday to be able to do it, to get everything out the way. Okay. So that is an example of how I use my SMART goals in order to reach a bigger goal. Okay. You can't eat the elephant in one bite. You can only eat an elephant in small little bites. And another term they say is you can't boil the ocean, right? You just have to do one lake at a time. Okay. So, with that stated, hopefully you all enjoyed this. Hopefully you all enjoyed this and you all apply this to helping you set your goals and things that you need to do. My next video, which will be next week, is how to apply these principles. I gave it to you verbally. My next video is actually going to be the different tools that I use in order to do it, or, you know, showing you other people's tools and how they use it to set their goals. Some people are electronic, some people prefer pen and paper, some people prefer calendars. I'm just going to show you the various things that I use and do use depending on what it is that I'm setting my goal for, which actually works better for me because depending on what your goal is, some things are better handwritten down, some be on a specific format. Doesn't mean you can't transition it electronically just to make it more, you can read it better or you can access it better anywhere you are, and that's fine. But sometimes you just need to sort of get that draft down and everything else will be fine. Everything else works. So stay tuned for that. And thank you for joining me with TNT Connect. I'll be back with some more tips on setting your goals. You all have a good evening. See ya.